This is Salamancer, and you are watching SalTV Competitive Team Fortress 2, where this demo appears to be inspecting his sticky placement. I think he has adjudged it good. And we are going to see today Decerto versus BFF. BFF in the blue, Decerto obviously in the red. You can see their team name there. And a nice little rollout by Sparry, although he immediately eats a sticky from Cadis. Cadis, such an amazing demo man. If you guys don't know, he is one of the European wonder demos, seen as like equal to or possibly even better than Banny. And right now, Darn standing up on top of the crates, doing a good job. The only thing is, Arcs right now, I don't know if this is actually the same Arcs as the caster, but it very well could be, gets a nice little fadeaway headshot on the BFF. So the BFF team, they're going to cap the point, no problem. When they've got stars like Cookie and Bibbin, Zebasai, Cadis, Darn, I mean, everybody on this team is a star. Problem is, Arcs is still doing a pretty crazy job on the sniper rifle. He is going to have to retreat. Oh, actually gets some of this Uber popped on him. Of course, that was a force Uber there on his demo man, but a nice little kill on Bibbin, too. Bibbin got caught up against a door frame and died. Can't tell you how many times this happened to me just today. I was trying to play that weekly weapon challenge, the scout. Didn't work at all. Anyway, Cadis getting a couple nice kills. Ark's still looking for the kills himself, and oh my god, I took the camera off at the exact wrong moment. This is why I need a cameraman, because Cadis just got taken out. Arcs is doing a pretty darn good job here. And that does mean that his team, Decerto, are going to hold on to the second point. I will say right away that Decerto are the underdogs in this story. So, they're compared to the superstar team here that, just may be like the European classic mix-up. Decerto definitely not as good, I think. I mean, maybe that's not the right thing to say, but they certainly don't have as good of a record. Arx is going to have to back off here once again. Still, he is alive. I've never seen a sniper last this long in a 6v6 game. He has been staying very far back, though. Sparry taken down, but he does get a kill on Darn. And meanwhile, okay, Arx is finally experiencing just maybe a little bit too much pressure here. He is going to be able to connect with his med, possibly. But just a couple of chip shots will kill him. And Decerto losing a lot of players right now. Bibbin is going to start capping while the rest of his team, I guess, tries to take on their opponents. Darn is... Oh, he's waiting for the forward spawn, so that's okay. But Zebasai is already in position to attack. Decerto, they have an Uber, but the Uber's already coming in for the blue team. Zebasai is just coming in from behind and kind of waiting maybe to spawn camp or sneak in from behind when nobody's watching. I think he hasn't even been noticed yet, so he can just stand upstairs all he wants to and come in and get a free rocket or two. His team's actually getting the cap already, and so he just has to walk in. He actually doesn't get a free rocket, but at least he didn't get air shots. That's good. Decerto now actually kind of connecting it on defense. Maybe Zebasai actually should have just been dealing damage that entire time, because Decerto benefited from the fact that he was not pushing out rockets in that entire fight. So they actually managed to win that little fight there and hold on to their second point now. Cookie and Bibbin both going to be hanging out here. Two scouts with exceptional aim. And what is Mirlin doing? Oh, I know what he's doing, actually. They're going to try... No, okay, they are just backing up. I thought he was actually weird. Okay, I thought he was going to take forward spawn, but apparently he wants to spawn with the rest of his team. Zebasai now on the sniper, so he's going to be trying to counter that sniper play from Arcs earlier and show that, hey, we can aim at heads too. We've got that ability. The problem is, I think he might have been spotted by that other scout, so they are going to try and... Oh, maybe not, though. He had a free shot on that demo man, but he did not quite hit it. That's a tough shot to hit when the demo's moving around like that. And Snippus gets a nice little kill there on Zebasai. Two fadeaway kills once again, though, by Bibbin and Darn. Now, not going to hit that air shot, Daleth. Sorry. Should I pronounce that like Dalek? Daleth? Or no? I don't know. I could possibly do that. But regardless, it is still 0-0. And Daleth here is keeping his team pushing forward and capping the middle point. He's actually checking the flanks very, very proactively. Very diligently, I guess is the word I was originally looking for, but I'm tired. Oh, I stayed up way too late last night. And for no real good reason. Gamer reasons. That's pretty much the only reason I can think of. There is an Uber advantage, though, coming in from Mirlin right now. They want to try and hold this for as long as possible. They'd really rather not pop it. Mirlin is going to take a lot of damage, but grabs a health kit. Very good positioning, but he drops to Sparry, so never mind. Milking that for a little bit too long. Cadis ends up dying to Sparry as well. And I'm going to pronounce this guy's name wrong every single time I try to speak it. But it doesn't even matter because he's being ridiculous right now. There is a jump coming in from the... What? Huh? Okay. Well, apparently Sparry is the greatest one-armed demo man who ever lived. Oh, okay, he does have two arms. That looked really weird. This is ridiculous, though. Decerto just stomped all over that push. And really, there was one cause of that. And that cause... was quite simply Mirlin dropped the Uber. trying to hold on to it for a little bit too long, milking that Uber. I didn't see the actual kill, so I couldn't say what the medic actually saw, but he was definitely getting focused, and that was a good focus on the part of Decerto. Now, Spari's going to go ahead and do the standard thing, which is lay sticks on the point. Nobody actually getting on that point, though, and so he realizes that's not going to work. He has to start laying damage somewhere else. But that's somewhere else. Oh, man. Sorry, my camera work here is starting to die as I keep getting messages from multiple people. But that somewhere else is basically going to be on the floor dead. It looks like another great defense this time around by BFFs. And I got to tell you, BFFs are an awesome group of people. Cadis, of course, the regular on the Pirate Radio podcast they do over in Europe, which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. They get a little bit friskier, I think, than Seabear and I do, but it's pretty awesome nonetheless. Cadis now taking an Uber. This is exactly what he wanted to be doing earlier. Spari eating a bunch of sticks and dying instantly. And Cadis is so good at aiming those stickies from the air. Every time I see him in any setting, whether it's Highlander playing at 100 ping or whatever, he'll take these wicked jumps through the air and just never misses a sticky. He's going to go for this shot on now the sniper. I can't even see that full name there. I think that is going to be Stark. I was about to press tab to figure it out, and then it came up in the kill feed. But Stark was trying to snipe. That didn't work out for them at all. Now Cadis is ready to push back in here. He's actually getting really, really aggressive, but it does work. Daleth down right away. Now Darn did die as an entry frag there, so Decerto not going to have the world's easiest time on defense, but they may be able to get away with something. They did just have another respawn, and Snippus is actually in a really interesting position. Does help Spari kind of cut off and trap Cookie and take him out. So both teams are playing a very scrappy last point right now, as BFFs were thinking about pushing in, but Decerto kind of held their ground even though they were losing players, and they did some weird aggressive stuff, having a scout around behind and Snippus and catching Cookie out of position. So now things are actually going to level out a little bit, and I apologize, I'm rambling. But they are leveling out a little bit. Snippus just trying to hold this hallway, maybe force an early pop, do something. You never know. I'm going to try and take your opponents by surprise as much as possible with your positioning or with anything that you can do on defense, because getting more damage off onto your opponents, it's an important thing. Cadis taking a couple of hits here, but here comes the Uber, and Snippus was not ready for that one. He does get the Uber popped on him, though. A very good save by his medic. That is Spin on the med right now, and Uber's traded. Nobody died. That's actually the opposite of aggressive play. So both teams showing they actually know how to play this really well. Darn does try to go in after the Uber. I think he may have been going for the med, but I did not get to catch that one. Once again, would love a cameraman for this. But yeah, Darn was trying to go in for that attack, and that didn't work very well. Now Daleth is doing his best to get forward here. Seeing that Darn is down, he might be able to get a kill on Zebaside. They've actually found Cadis, and Cadis is not paying attention at all, so Stark takes him out, but Cookie has killed Daleth. This is getting a little scary here for Decerto. If they don't leave anybody on last, they may end up losing the point. They are going to have to back out here, I think, and it sounds like the demo took a couple of hits, but he is going to be okay. Sparry will be fine. And Decerto, once again, just sitting back on the last point. This time they have Stark. Once again, sitting on the sniper. And actually, normally I wouldn't say you should have your heavy spun up all the time, but one thing he's actually doing here is covering for the sound of the sniper walking around. So, and, if the sniper happened to say, thanks, Doc, or whatever like that, then it wouldn't have showed up. But Stark does get taken out right away, so that sniper did not really do a lot. Darn just trying to take some high ground and avoid the sticky damage, but he gets shot out of the air by that heavy, and his anti-aircraft gun he just kind of walks around with and prevents jumpers from going anywhere. Decerto losing quite a few players here, but they still have a heavy on the point, still at 150 health, and they have an overhealed Demo Man, which is terror in and of itself. So it is just Cadis left alive in the point right now, and he gets taken out. Marilyn did get away, and that's going to be the 1+ of this little battle. Marilyn just... Oh, maybe not, though. No, okay. He totally got away. Totally. Not even a question. Where is that scout? Okay, Bibbin was just trying to make sure his med was safe. Didn't want to go in for that pick because that was not going to work for him. Now you do see that the BFFs here are doing their best to delay the push. They're doing some damage on their opponents on that second point. They end up losing Darn again, but Darn I think plays that roaming soldier. So aside from hitting his keyboard, he'll be okay. Dying is fine. And yes, hitting the keyboard is totally a reference to I-46. If you don't get the reference, you should have watched the video. But Decerto losing a bunch of players now, and the BFFs I think are going to have a nice little opportunity to push in once again. Cookie catching a scout out of position. Arcs, goodbye, my friend. So Maryland's got 100% Uber, and they're going to push this one in. See if they can push this one into victory. I'm gonna let you make up your own entendre about that one. Maryland is Oh, I'm sorry, not Maryland. Spin getting completely caught out there. And there is no question that's going to be a BFF round. That was a nice little push. Decerto fell apart trying to push out from second to mid. And then they got owned. Kind of like I got owned trying to play shortstop scout today. Shortstop scout is so hard. I have no skill whatsoever at TF2 though, so it's cool. Cadis actually not making that rollout look really solid, but he will have it really good sticky aim. Didn't hit Sparry with it this time, but he is going to continue trying to lay down that damage with the pills. And meanwhile, here comes the red team. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep a good camera angle here so you can see all the action. Red doing a very good job of holding the high ground this time around, but that soldier, all it takes is one jump into him, and it could be lights out. He is going to try and chase after the med, though. Might catch the med here. It's going to be a tough fight, but Maryland should go down. There you go. Does actually die, and Arcs is on the sniper trying to keep the med safe. Cadis and Zebasai are probably going to jump in after this. Zebasai going for the med. Tries to take a double jump over the crates. Actually kind of flubs it. Ends up landing right in front of the sniper. But now there's a problem. There's a demo man, Cadis, right on top of the med, not able to get that kill. Spin is still alive with the Uber advantage. So this round ought to go to Decerto. Daleth, though, he wants to try and make sure this scout doesn't get in on top of his med. Oh, a nice little direct hit on Cookie. That's going to keep him away. Cookie will dodge out of the way of those rockets, but another scout coming in. My God, they are so intent on bombing this med. They do not want Spin to maintain this Uber, and yet Cookie and Bibbin are both down. So that didn't really work out. Now Zebasai is going to be the one saving grace here. He may be able to get the snipe, but I think they should be expecting a snipe too, and expecting sticky traps and all that. Zebasai is waiting for the enemy to be called out. He wants to know where that medic is. He spots Daleth. He gets that kill, but that is not the medic pick that he needed. Maryland's close to Uber though, so this is actually the delay tactics here, the suicides and all that. At very least, it should have bought them enough time to build the Uber, and there you go. They did finally force a pop. Cadis and Darn are both down, but they've actually killed quite a few players. It's just the scouts and the medic left, and actually Stark is dead here. So Arx is going to go for the kill. A nice kill on the med. He's going for some meat shots there on the scouts, and Bibbin will take the brunt of that damage, but he didn't die. Now Spin is going to have actually a nice little advantage because Arx died so much later. Spin will have yet another Uber advantage here. Problem is, I don't think he's going to be able to use that to push last because second, once again, taken by the opponents. The best friends for, I assume that's what BFF stands for in this case. Sometimes it could stand for something else, you know, like bark for food. So you can take that one of two ways. Either if you're a dog, you have to bark and get food, or maybe you're an environmentalist and you like eating trees. I don't know, but Decerto, they do know. They know that they're ready to push in right now with the Uber. They want to make use of this 100% advantage. And Stark is going to get right on top of this sniper. This is how you deal with a sniper. Zebasai is down, but you try and get in his face before he has the chance to take you out. And there is actually another sniper for Decerto as well. Both teams really loving the sniping play. Arx takes down Cookie. Oh, I want to take down a Cookie right now. I'm actually kind of hungry. Hope you guys don't mind. We're just going to go try and find... No, okay, fine. I'll keep casting. Whatever. Cadis, though, is he laying down sticky traps? I don't... Oh, well, that's the wrong way to push the camera. I don't see any traps at the moment. Of course, traps are usually kind of a low probability weapon to pick people off with, but really what they're useful for is basically preventing enemies from getting into an area. Now, okay, where are my snipers? The snipers are what are important right now, mostly, because they're the ones who are going to be dealing the damage to the enemy team and getting the picks. Arx right now is very hurt. He's having a sniper battle with his opponent. Somebody's going to open that door for him eventually, and he might try to get a snipe, although he's thinking the enemy may walk out here, and yes, he does spot someone. Hits Zebasai with a nice little charged body shot. Not fully charged, but charged. Going for a shot now on Cadis, but Cadis is going to have none of it. Finally, the Uber comes in. Decerto, I guess they're just tired of this, and they want to try and catch Cadis out of position. They were not able to do that, but they lose Sparry here. I think that's actually going to mean a push for BFF. Now, actually, though, Cadis is going to get wrapped up against the wall there, and he got trapped. So, killed indeed. But yeah, normally any team, but especially European teams, when they see a demo man die, they will push, regardless of what position they're in. That is one thing they love to do. So Bibbin staying on last, defending it, and once again the BFFs have the best defense forever, and they do manage that best defense forever. It sort of made sense, I guess, in my head. But yeah, they are going to be able to push down towards the middle point here on CP Process. Keeping Cookie. This is, by the way, it's called CP Process B10 Fix. I had to re-download this map from ETF2L. Speaking of downloads from ETF2L, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but right now there's a bunch of damage coming in as the BFF team tries to capture the point. They take down Daleth and Snippus right at that rock there, and I don't know why Decerto is still trying to push in on this. They need to back away and keep their mid safe, which they will do. things stabilize for a little bit, but the Uber is going to come in. We're going to talk about ETF2L downloads later because this is going to be some big action. Cadis jumping in right away. Doesn't take any of the Uber, and actually his opponents are still retreating. Stark down. Cookie just dealing a little bit of chip damage there. Decerto will be ready to push in, but Spin will have his Uber. We are going to see a push, though, and I think it's going to get taken mostly by Cadis. He's going to jump in right now, take the Uber, but there goes the Uber for Decerto right away. So, oh no, Cadis, what happened? Snippus actually killed him. Don't know what happened there. What? Snippus was all the way over here. He must have just hit a stray rocket, and Cadis killed himself, I think. Darn's now down, so BFF's losing a lot of players here. Is anybody staying on the point, though? Arx is thinking about it, but there's nobody on the point. There's actually a soldier who could. No, he is locked in mortal combat with his opposing soldier here, Snippus. And Snippus actually not hitting as many shots, but he's got a med on him, so that's going to be okay. BFF should be able to still hold this if they want to. They're trying to make a play for the puppy. The second point up there, it totally looks like a puppy from the air. I'm not kidding. It does. It totally does. It's got like a little snout down there and one eye and one ear, and guys, it's a puppy. So I haven't even gotten any hate for that, by the way. I've gotten like 0 people getting upset at me about calling it the puppy, which I feel kind of lame, actually. It's like if I'm doing stuff everybody likes, so what's the point? Of course I'll keep shoutcasting, but I better see some more dislikes. I'm a rebel. No, BFFs actually did lose the second point, but they are sending Darn in. Wow, nice attempt at getting the kill. The Uber drop there. If he'd hit that second rocket right as he landed, that actually would have gotten a drop. Now he is right in position to take down that med, and he will kill Spin, but he loses his own life in the process. That's the only member of Decerto who has died, but the rest of his team is on very low health right now, 41 and 30 for the soldiers. The scout runs in and dies, not sure why. Cookie's down, but so is Spari. A nice little kill on Cadith. Cadis. And now Dallas is thinking about pushing in after the medic, but no, he decides against that one. I think the med's going to be nice and safe back here. Maryland has some defense. The soldier's ready to go. And this game is starting to get a little back and forth here, but while we've got a bit of a lull in the action, they're chasing in after a heavy, but you know the heavy's going to die. Yes, ETF2L has finally mandated that all of the premier teams upload STVs of all of their games. So you can go to etf2l.org. I think it's .org, and you can check for all the STV demos you could ever want. Maryland dying with a nice bomb by Snippus. Snippus, of course, dies as well, but he got the kill he needed, and Decerto have stopped the cap temporarily on the middle point. Now, anybody walking on that point could still get the capture. Kate is trying, and oh no, that was probably the wrong decision by Team Decerto. Instead of trying to keep their med defended, both the scout and the demo tried to keep the point defended. They tried to walk onto it and stop Cadis from capping, and that turned out to result in the death of Maryland. But Arx is going to go ahead and get a 2K here and try to recapture. Yeah, anyway, if you are an aspiring caster, which I've had quite a few people come to me and say, hey, I'm an aspiring caster, where do I go to find demos? Well, it's not just ESEA now. You can go to ETF2L after the games are played, and you can find all of their matches. It's awesome. But I also had to download B10 Fix, this new map that I was talking about earlier. I don't really know what they fixed, but I'm sure it was something important, or else they wouldn't have forced me to re-download the map. Yeah. Kate is going crazy, though, getting a bunch of kills right now as Darn just kind of plays the solid roamer, going after Spari, and that's going to finish off Spin as well. Darn, I don't think got any damage in there, but that's okay. He helped distract so Cadis could come in and be the hero, and Cadis is totally a hero. If you have not seen him before, he even looks like a hero. But that's a wipeout for Decerto, and I think this is going to end up making it 2-0. So far, the underdog story is definitely the underdog story. The underdogs are the underdogs, and the underdogs, they shall remain. Have I said underdog enough? I don't think I have. I'll work on it. Work on it. You can keep a counter of the word underdog, by the way. I'm not going to put one up in the video itself, but I'm sure if you want to make a drinking game out of it, you totally can. Kate is taking that nice little jump out there, and he does lay down damage once again on Sperry, but Sperry does get the health kit, so he'll be okay for now. We're going to see the soldiers jumping pretty soon. Which side gets soldier control is pretty crucial right now, and it looks like both sides will go for it. Blue Soldier deciding to jump in straight after the med along with his scout, but they both get taken out. Darn and Bibbin gone. Spin, though, is dead. That's the med down. But there was so much attention on that med that Decerto actually has a big advantage than the players right now. Spari is going to get pressured by the scout, but he'll get saved. Kate is now in trouble from Arx, and both scouts are on top of him. Stark will finish that off, even though Cadis gets laughed at by his fellow scout for dying there. Yes, I know that's not what happened. Gosh, stop being such a nerd, okay? The scout laughed because he killed Cadis. I know. I know what the trigger is. I get it. Man, I'm tired. Okay, Decerto, though, capping that mid-fight once again. It's just they have not been able to close out on these last points yet. So we'll see if they can actually... Oh, hello, Zebasai says to the sticky trap. But we'll see if they can actually close out here. Zebo going for the kill on this soldier. Not going to be able to get that one. It's, you know, the instant he scopes in, basically that soldier's going to have his lunch for dinner. That's right, lunch for dinner. If you think that's blasphemy, wait till you see IHOP. 24/7 breakfast? Does that just blow your mind or what? Anyway, once again, BFFs are getting pushed back towards their last point. Not a huge deal. They have defended it before. Not much of an uber disadvantage, so we'll see if Arc can make anything happen here. But no, he's way behind his team, so he's going to have to move forward first. I don't know if his opponents realize he's a sniper. I wonder if Decerto are going to be as impatient as they have been in the past. Oh, he sees the medic up there, but he's not going to be able to get that kill. Meanwhile, there is, in fact, yes, another impatient Uber coming in from Decerto. They kill Darn, and that is just about all they kill. The Ubers coming in as a counter from Miralin here on the BFFs, but actually Cookie does die in that fadeaway attack, and now all of a sudden it's 4v6. I think Decerto could come back into this and cause a lot of damage. Trading 1 for 1 is actually really good for them right now. Of course, some respawners are coming back in here for the BFFs, but Miralin is in some trouble and does not want to draw too much attention to himself. Bibbin taken down, finally the sniper being useful, and Miralin is in a lot of trouble right now. Just a tiny little bit of damage could cause problems. The Uber standing on the point is not going to be able to cap it, of course, but Ark's taking down Zebasai as well, so still sniping like crazy. Spin gets a nice little Uber saw, so he pretty much catches up to Miralin in terms of the Uber. 10% behind is not a lot at all. And yet, Decerto have to back out once again. You know, I give him credit for spunk, but that attack didn't work very well. Ark's still on the sniper though, still trying to go for the angles. It's just his opponents ought to know that he's there, but a nice shot on Kate is going to go for another one, but doesn't finish him off. That's too bad, Arcs. That's too bad. We all wanted you to succeed. Most of us. I don't think Kate wanted you to succeed, but everybody else did. But Arcs, I mean, he's just having too much difficulty here. He's getting spammed out. He's probably going to die from the next rocket that touches him or looks at him wrong. And yes, rockets have eyes. If you don't believe me, go look at the model yourself and then come back and argue with me later because I'm tired now and I don't want to hear it. And the BFF still holding out with a very solid defense. The heavy on the high ground, overhealed. That's going to be tough to take out unless you get a sniper in to touch him. The sniper wants to reach out and touch him with that bullet, but he may not be able to. Especially not from this angle. This angle is being covered very well right now. Arc still kind of prowling around for the med, and he knows where the med is, but that med is so defended that he's not going to be able to do anything about it. Interestingly, they do have a spy now as well. I don't know what they hope to accomplish with this Uber, honestly. Daleth is down. In fact, half their team is down. The only thing I can think that they're going to accomplish here is they're going to clear the way for Stark to make a back cap. And that's exactly what he's going to try to do. He's going to go for a back cap. Yeah, and that's not going to work. So, no. But the problem they had there was that Arcs, of course, was getting spammed out. You can't really expect your sniper to make a good play if he's getting spammed out, if he's getting pressured. If they know he's there, he's basically not going to get away with anything. He does get a kill on Zebasai, but basically that's one man down already. So it was 5v6. And then they went Spy, and the Spy is not going to be able to add any DPS to that fight. So unless you're willing to wait for him to go in and try to make a pick, it's going to be 4v6. So they pushed him with an Uber on 4v6 on the last. Yeah, you want to know why it failed? Because they fought 4v6, that's why. And so Decerto is having some problems here now. They still hold mid, and they still have a bit of an Uber advantage, but they really kind of squibbed that attack on last. And now they're going to be waiting for more picks from Arcs, who is a decent sniper, but I'm not sure if sniper is really the best choice for full time on this map. Maybe he'll make it work though. Maybe they'll come back. How much time is left? 6 minutes. I don't know. Decerto, I think, is going to have difficulty. A lot of difficulty bringing that back to 2-2 at least in the last couple of minutes. Maybe they will, but an incoming Uber to try and save the point here might be ill-advised from the BFFs. They're not going to get any kills out of this. They force an Uber, and they will have to back out. Now, Kate is taking a lot of hits, and he will go down. Cookie, meanwhile, is trying to go in for a flank there, takes down Spari, but dies himself, and now there's only 3 players left alive to defend the last against 5 Decerto members. So this is the kind of engagement they want to have. Maybe that was the way they were playing it all along. They were just trying to lull their enemies into a false sense of security, make them think they could push out, and then decimate them as they came back. But now it's 2v2, almost ulti-duo style, except that it's soldier medic versus sniper medic, and that's not going to work. Spin is running away, trying to get the heals on Arcs, but that's not going to happen either. And once again, Decerto, we're going to lose his second point. Spin is going to have to retreat into the loving arms of his beautiful soldiers. And if the soldiers ever hear me saying that, I think they'll try and hit me with a shovel, but that's okay. They know what their role is. Save that medic and keep him alive. Now, Spin taking a bit of damage here, and it's a good push, I think, by the BFFs. I don't know why I wanted to say quarantine, but it's definitely the BFFs pushing in. They take down Spin right away. They have to retreat their soldiers back through that choke point for some reason, but Decerto losing too many players here. Dala thinking about going in after the med, though. Oh, not able to get him, and Marilyn at 83 health. We'll be able to grab the health kit over here, probably. A nice little pipe by Cadis will finish off Snippus around the corner. It always feels good as a demo when people just walk into your pipes. You just fire one, and somebody's like, hey, this looks tasty. So Kate is probably feeling pretty good about that one, and now, of course, the BFFs are going to be pushing straight towards Decerto. Probably be able to take their last point here and make it a 3-0 game, which, honestly, Decerto kind of deserve it for their poor performance pushing into last. It's okay, though. You know, as the underdogs, I expect them to come back in the second map. And yes, there is a second map. That's how these work. It's European TF2, and I haven't casted Euro TF2 really in quite a long time, except for I-46. And that was not on my channel. But in case you don't remember, Euro TF2 is 30 minutes win difference of 5, not win limit of 5, but win difference. So that means you could have 6-1 or 7-2 or 8-3 as long as the overall difference is 5. Decerto keeping their med alive here, and actually Decerto somehow, as I was talking about that stupid arcane rule crap, Decerto managed to get in and completely turn the game around and recapture mid. Now they are going to have to deal with somebody walking out of their resupply here, but it looks like that will be okay. And Decerto are going to start pushing towards last already with the Uber advantage. I mean, they just need to focus on one player at a time, get the frags, kill this Heavy, kill the Demo. Demo is down, Heavy's about to die here. And so they've done a very good job of just keeping one player back. Oh, a nice Uber saw by Spin. Cookie's the only one left, and there you go. Decerto finally putting a point on the board, but there's only 3 minutes left. So if they want to tie this game up and bring it to a golden cap round, then they're going to need to get out there quickly. Let me see what the... I want to see what the soldier rollouts look like. We have not seen those in a while. It's fun to see how these guys do it, because when you've got neither soldier allowed to use any unlocks, it means you can't use that that escape plan rollout that's so useful. Dalif making that look really easy, not taking any fall damage despite being on a higher level and landing on a lower level. Cadis taken down right away. Ark's got a really nice pick early on, and that's going to be really important here. The entire blue team is starting to feel the pressure already, backing away. Their soldiers are not going to be able to make up for the lack of damage caused by the Demo dying, but their scouts have come in to finish the job, taking down the medic for Decerto. Decerto will get the cap, and Darn is just going to sit around and wait for the ambush. Darn, where are you? You're in the enemy sewers, aren't you? No, you're in your own sewers. Right, okay. So he's going to wait in the sewers. Now the thing is, his positioning here is going to be a little bit suspect, because of course they know Darn's alive, and he's going to go for an ambush. So yeah, Darn will have to retreat. Now, thankfully, he left himself a nice little escape route there, so he doesn't take a lot of damage, and he gets back to his med, and everything is fine, and nothing is ruined. But yeah, if you're one of the scouts on Decerto there, you realize, okay, well, Darn is alive, so we need to watch for that. And so they've checked every conceivable place. Decerto not losing 2 players, that's going to blunt their push quite effectively for... Oh no, Kate is getting in doing a lot of damage. He doesn't manage to get the kill yet, but so much damage coming out on his opposing team. Oh, actually taken down here, and BFFs are starting to be in a little bit of trouble. Darn wants to come out. I think it's Darn. No, it's Zebasai actually wants to come out and try to kill the med. Does manage to get the med. So Spin is gone. Spari's gone now, though. Decerto losing a couple players here. And I think they're going to have to reset, as their opponents are going to respawn in time to defend their last point. Darn, though, what are you doing, Darn? He's getting really far forward here. He's thinking about going for some kind of an ambush, even though he doesn't really have to. Ark's taken out, though, so I guess the rest of his team kind of is thinking the same thing. You know, let's get forward a little bit. Kritzkrieg is coming out, so this is kind of the final desperation push here. Last 50 seconds of the game. Can Decerto actually use this crits and make it happen? They're going to need to build this very quickly, and basically, the instant they use it, they need to start capturing that point as well. So they're going to have to make this work really in their favor. You see, they're about 70% right now. And they're even pushing in a little bit before that. 30 seconds left to go. A very aggressive play, but they're going to start losing players here real fast if they're not careful. 85% on the crits, so they're very, very close here. Dala taken down, but Zebasai's gone in exchange. That's a soldier gone. Spin, though, in trouble. And a nice defense was a very effective damage output there for the BFF, so they're calling GG right now. Of course, do subscribe here on youtube.com/fatmop. And I hope you have enjoyed the game. We got another map coming up, though. It's going to be on Snake Water. So if you like snakes and you like water, or if you just like one of those things, I guess, one or the other, take your pick. It's a fun map, and it's the same teams. So we get to see this in this league game. What happens?